life trying not to be seen. At 40 years old, she still carried the weight of childhood stares, the way people's eyes lingered just a second too long on the left side of her face, where her features had never quite formed symmetrically. Doctors had called it a congenital deformity. Kids at school had called it worse. She learned early that silence was safer. Born on October 17, 1985, in a quiet town tucked into the folds of Northern California, Randie had grown up in a modest home with her mother, Dana Cooper. Dana was kind but guarded, the sort of woman who carried secrets behind tired eyes and gentle smiles. Randie never knew her father. Whenever she asked, Dana would deflect. He wasn't meant for this world, her mother would say, as if that explained anything. At 15, everything changed. It started small, objects shifting when she was upset, a glass trembling on the kitchen counter, a door creaking open without a breeze. Randie thought she was losing her mind until the night it escalated. She had just come home from school after a particularly cruel day. Someone had snapped a photo of her and posted it online with the caption, "Monster Girl." Randie locked herself in her room, shaking with anger and humiliation. Tears streamed down her face as she stared into the mirror, hating what she saw. "I didn't ask to look like this," she whispered. The air in the room thickened. The mirror cracked, not from impact, but from something deeper, like pressure from within reality itself. Randie stumbled back as the glass splintered outward, freezing midair like shards suspended in time. A low hum filled the room, vibrating through her bones. And then, the shards rotated. Every single one of them pointed toward her. Randie gasped, clutching her chest. "Stop! Stop!" The pieces dropped instantly, clattering harmlessly to the floor. The silence that followed felt heavier than the noise. Her bedroom door burst open. Dana stood there, pale, her breathing sharp and uneven. "It's happening," she said. Randie looked at her, terrified. "What's happening to me?" Dana hesitated. For a long moment, she said nothing. Then she stepped inside, closed the door, and sat on the edge of the bed. I was hoping it wouldn't start this early." Randie's voice trembled. "Start what?" Dana met her eyes. "Your inheritance." That night, Dana told her everything. Randie's father wasn't human. He wasn't even from Earth. He came from another realm, Dana explained softly, a place filled with magic, ancient civilizations, and beings far older than anything here. Randie sat frozen, trying to process it. What was he? Dana swallowed. "A mage," she said. "A powerful one, from a hidden order known as the Endrovokans." The word felt strange in Randie's mind, like it carried weight beyond language. "Endro, what?" Dana repeated. "They're not just spellcasters, they're guardians of arcane balance. Their magic is alive. It chooses them as much as they choose it." Randie shook her head. "That's not possible. I know how it sounds." "No," Randie said more firmly. "That's not possible. This is real life, not some fantasy book." Dana reached for her hand. "Then explain what just happened to that mirror." Randie couldn't. Her mind raced, trying to cling to logic, but nothing made sense anymore. "Why didn't you tell me?" she asked. Tears welled in Dana's eyes. "Because I wanted you to have a normal life. I thought, if the magic never awakened, you'd be safe." "Safe from what?" Dana looked away. "From him," she whispered. Randie's heart skipped. "My father? He wasn't dangerous," Dana said quickly. "Not to me, not to you. But the world he came from, it's not peaceful. Power like his draws attention, enemies." Randie leaned back, overwhelmed. "So what does that make me?" she asked quietly. Dana hesitated again. "Half of something extraordinary," she said, "and half human." Randie laughed bitterly. "Yeah, well, I don't feel extraordinary." Dana reached up, gently brushing a strand of hair from Randie's face. "You are," she said, "even if the world never saw it." The years that followed were anything but normal. Randie learned to control her abilities slowly. At first, it was instinctive, emotions triggering bursts of power. Anger made things break. Fear made shadows stretch unnaturally. Sadness caused lights to flicker and dim. But with guidance from her mother and an old journal her father had left behind, Randie began to understand. The journal was written in a language that shifted as she read it, translating itself into something her mind could grasp. It spoke of ley lines, arcane currents, and the delicate balance between realms. It also spoke of her father. His name was Kale Tharion, an Endrovokan Mage who had crossed into Earth not by accident, but by choice. He had fallen in love with Dana, and for a brief moment in time, He had chosen a simple life until something called him back. He didn't want to leave, Dana admitted one night, but he said the realms were unraveling, that he had responsibilities he couldn't ignore. Did he ever try to come back? Randie asked. Dana's silence was answer enough. By the time Randie turned 40, she had built a quiet life for herself. She worked from home, avoided crowds, and kept her abilities hidden. The world still saw her as different, but now she carried a different kind of difference beneath the surface. Power, control, and questions that never fully went away. Until the night, everything shifted again. Randie was sitting in her living room when the temperature dropped suddenly. The lights flickered, not erratically, but rhythmically, deliberately. Her chest tightened. This wasn't her doing. A faint glow appeared in the center of the room, forming a circle of intricate symbols that pulsed with soft blue light. Randie stood slowly. "No," she whispered. The air warped, and then a figure stepped through, tall, cloaked, radiating a quiet, warm, immense presence. Randie's breath caught in her throat. She didn't need to be told who it was. She felt it. In her bones, in her blood. "Randie," the figure said gently. His voice was familiar in a way that didn't make sense. Her eyes filled with tears. "You left," she said, her voice breaking. The man lowered his hood. His face was both foreign and familiar, sharp features, glowing eyes, and a faint aura that shimmered like heat on a summer road. "I know," he said. "Do you?" Randie snapped, anger rising. "Do you know what it was like growing up without you? Not knowing who I was, what I was?" Hail Therian stepped closer but stopped a few feet away. "I watched you," he said softly. Randie froze. "What?" "I couldn't return," he continued. "Not physically. The barriers between realms became unstable. Crossing them, it comes with consequences." "Convenient," Randie muttered. "I deserve that," he admitted. Silence hung between them. Randie wiped her tears. "Why now?" Kale's expression darkened. "Because the instability has worsened," he said. "The boundaries between worlds are thinning, and your power, it's part of that equation now." Randie's stomach dropped. "What does that mean?" "It means," he said carefully, "that you're not just my daughter." She frowned. "What are you talking about?" "You are a bridge," he said, "a living convergence of two realms, human and Endrovokan. Your existence, it's creating a resonance." Randie shook her head. "I don't understand." "You will," he said, "soon." She stared at him, searching his face. After everything, years of absence, unanswered questions, he stood here like a stranger carrying answers she wasn't sure she wanted. "Are you here to take me with you?" she asked quietly. Kale hesitated. "No," he said. "I'm here to ask." Randie blinked. "Ask? The realms are on the brink of collapse," he said, "and you may be the only one who can stabilize them." She let out a hollow laugh. "You show up after 40 years, and that's what you ask me?" "I'm asking because you have a choice," he said. "Something I didn't have." Randie turned away, pacing. "All my life," she said, "I felt like I didn't belong anywhere. Not here, not anywhere. And now you're telling me I belong to two worlds, and both of them need something from me?" Kale said nothing. Randie stopped and looked at him. "What if I say no?" He met her gaze. "Then I will respect that." "Love," he said. She studied him carefully. For the first time, she saw something beyond the power, regret, and hope. Randie took a slow breath. "I don't forgive you," she said. "I know." "But," she hesitated, her voice softening, "I want to understand." A faint smile touched Kale's lips. "That's all I hope for." Randie stepped closer, the glow of the portal reflecting in her eyes. "Then start explaining," she said, "because if I'm going to save two worlds," she paused, "I need to know where I truly belong." And for the first time in her life, Randie L. Cooper didn't feel like hiding.